What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So let's start this video with Laszlo and his coach Patrick Tour published his 8 weeks out physique update. And I just have to say, no matter how many times you look at this guy's physique, especially his upper half, the V taper that this guy has, it's more impressive every single time you look at it. So 8 weeks out means he is going for a show in August, and that show could be Texas Pro. And I really doubt that the show can be Tampa Pro, because Tampa is happening on August 1st. So that isn't 8 weeks out. Or it could be any other show because we know there are so many classic physique shows in a single calendar year. So coming back to his update, he looks to be in a solid condition for 8 weeks out of the show. So I am curious to hear, how much does he need to drop from this point onwards in order to make the classic physique weight cutoff? Because this is the most important thing for a guy like Laszlo. So I 100% believe that we have seen him better in some physique updates leading into the show than his actual physique on the show day, simply because he isn't dehydrated as well as carb depleted compared to how things look, especially during that final peak week. So when it comes to Laszlo, we will always discuss one thing. His legs can be bigger so that he has more balance top to bottom. I mean, if his legs were as good as his upper half, he would have been top 6 at the Olympia level already, maybe even higher than that, because this guy has one of the best upper halves in classic physique. So Laszlo is over 6 feet tall, and we all know all these taller guys, they got very little cushion, especially with those new classic physique weight regulations. So there is no doubt in my mind that he will of course qualify for Mr. Olympia. But can he crack top 10? Can he move up his placings at the Olympia level? Well, for that we're gonna have to wait and see how he shows up in whatever show he is going for next. So there is that message by the reigning 212 champ, Keone Pearson, and very out loud. Read that last line and imagine the confidence Keone Pearson has developed after winning his first ever 212 title. And he has been expressing that throughout the year. So the prep has already kicked in, and Keone has been pushing pretty damn hard throughout the year, not just in this prep. And based on what we saw with Keone versus Shaun last year, it is logical to believe that Keone is gonna win that 212 title for as long as he wants to. So 2024 is gonna be one of the most crucial years, because Matt Jensen and Shaun Clarida, they are looking to bring exactly that 2022 package. And there is no denying this fact, that the version of Shaun Clarida in 2022, that was off the charts. It was a done deal the moment he walked out on that stage. But will that be enough to dethrone an improved version of Keone Pearson? My personal call is that if Keone brings that same condition as last year, and he is also better in some areas, like for instance his back, specifically his hamstrings, I don't think anyone can beat that kind of genetics. And yes, I know Shaun does have an insane amount of density and muscle maturity over Keone, but that's just one aspect of the judging. The shape, the weight, the overall flow, the aesthetics, they all count a lot now. And we all know Keone is so superior in all those aspects. And even a Shaun with really tapered down waist will still look a bit blockier next to a shape freak like Keone. And that isn't any exaggeration at all. That is how good Keone is. So it's so good that we have this rivalry in the 212. And there is something exciting to look forward to when it comes to 212 class. Next up, we have an off-season physique update of Krystian, the guy who believes that he is going to have a solid chance to dethrone the champion Chris Bumstead this year. So some of the top guys in classic physique, like Chance Ruffin, like Behrooz, they did not like this statement by Ors, and that is on the record. So it seems like Ors really ate very big during the off-season. I mean, that guy is looking really huge, really massive. He's currently 264 pounds, in what we can all agree is a great off-season condition. So Ors has been really careful about his calorie intake, especially in the off-season, because he knows if he goes beyond a certain weight, if he puts on too much size, if he gets too much bigger, then it is gonna be extremely hard for him to come down to make the weight cutoff. So a guy like Jay Cutler also told him that he needs to feed his body, because he is already looking so shredded even just walking around. And judging by how Arnold Classic Ohio and UK went for Ors, this upcoming Mr. Olympia, that is most probably gonna be the most important contest for Krystian in his classic physique career ever since he made his debut back in 2021. Because a guy like Behrooz, who was finally able to beat him at UK after 2 years, he believes that he has a solid chance of moving up at least one spot. So this is gonna be a big test for Krystian as well. So can Ors win Mr. Olympia? Well, even Chris Bumstead said that his structure is the closest possible to his, but he needs better back, he needs better arms, to hold back some of these guys. And I am afraid with the weight cap hanging over his head, that is gonna be very tough for him. And so are the chances of him winning the Olympia. Next up, we have another Classic Physique update. This one from the guy who proved every prediction wrong at the Arnold Classic Ohio and UK as well, Wesley Vissers. So I'm pretty sure there is nobody in Classic Physique division who weighs over 280 pounds during the off-season. Even the champ Chris Bumstead hardly goes up to 270 pounds at the peak of his off-season phase. So that is how big Wesley really is. So Wesley single-handedly has made this Classic Physique Mr. Olympia so much more interesting. Because the thing is, Chris Bumstead never stood next to someone who is taller than him and arguably bigger and wider than him in certain aspects. So Wesley has, without a shadow of a doubt, most shredded delts in the game. Big chest as well as great arms. And I'm sure the way he has been pushing during these last few months post-Arnold Classic, we will definitely see some slight improvements, especially in his quads as well as his hamstrings. So definitely a better version is loading for this upcoming Mr. Olympia. But we have to keep in mind, in order to get to Chris Bumstead, Wesley needs to beat Ramondino first. And this time Ramondino is definitely gonna be at his best. I do believe that Ramon is gonna bring something incredible this year. And Wesley went up against an off version of Ramon in Ohio. But Ramon was still able to push him very hard for that win. And we have been seeing after this year's Arnold, Ramon has been pushing extremely hard in the gym. He was back to training even 24 weeks out of the show. And the intensity of the workouts are looking absolutely crazy. So do let me know what you guys think. Can Wesley beat Ramondino at his best? And which one of these two guys are going to be challenging Chris Bumstead for the Olympia title in October this year? I believe all of us were really impressed by this guy, placed 5th at the Neo Pro this year, Krystian Wolski. Well, he is ready to step back on the stage this weekend in Italy, with Behrooz Tabani and Nathan Dieta in there, and both trying to bring their absolute best also. So realistically speaking, no one else has a chance to win a show including Wolski, with Behrooz Tabani and Nathan Dieta in there. But the thing is, Krystian wasn't even in the top 4 at the Neo Pro a few weeks back, but still he got admired by all of the bodybuilding fans out there. And one of the reasons for that was his insane improvements that he was able to make in the last 1 year or so. So I believe Wolski placed 3rd in California Pro. But so far that Neo Pro look, that was his best ever. I think this guy has super flow. He isn't missing any body parts. He's huge as well. Maybe he can build bigger and rounder shoulders, and he can showcase more width on the stage. But other than that, he is extremely impressive to look at, and he is very complete. So most of the bodybuilders that are up and coming, they are mostly lacking in that back department. But Krystian's back double bicep is a money shot for him. But still, I think it is gonna be hard for him to qualify for the Olympia this year, because every lineup is looking so stacked in all of the Olympia qualifiers. But I believe we are definitely gonna see him on the Olympia stage in the future. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.